Returning to work and everyday life after someone has served time in prison and jail, that can be challenging.
Today, WKBN Community Affairs Director Dee Crawford is focusing on women going through this. She continues her in-depth conversation with United Returning Citizens.
And continuing our conversation regarding your program, and I am truly so interested in how you have been able to address the action plans. Talk about that in depth for me.
So the action plans, when the intake specialists come to me, because I usually do a one-to-one with them, they have a list of like housing or anger management that they check off to see. And so when we go in there, I just, talk with them. And like, what do you really want to do? Not about, no, I really don't want to hear the story about what happened because I didn't heard all the stories. You yourself at this moment, from this point on, what do you want to do? What would make you happy? And we make a plan for that from step one. If it's just to get your ID, if it's to getting your birth certificate, if it's getting medical care, anything that the first start to your next life or second chance, we do that. It's steps, it's baby steps. Right. We have weekly goals, daily goals, 3-day goals, monthly goals that help.
Kishar, what has been your plan and how are you coming along with your plan? You are now the housing director,
yes.
And I'm sure you didn't foresee that as a part of your plan. But what was your plan when you entered the program?
My plans was to help young girls that had to deal with, well, women coming home from prison. Getting back into the world. Because for me, it was a challenge, if it wasn't for family support, and, meeting up with Miss Dionne and just talking to her, giving her my vision of what I wanted to do, But the main thing, I couldn't get housing, for a good 3 years. I couldn't get a good paying job. I was working different jobs. And once my record came back, they had to let me go. So it just pushed me forward to just continue to want to, overcome these barriers to show them that, because that's the discouragement. As soon as they tell you, oh, well, your record came back and, you get that, you just are like, okay, I don't even, then you go back to what you're used to,
That's the recidivism that you talked about. And as you said, that disappointment over and over again pretty soon becomes the pattern of behavior.
Absolutely.
And Kishar, she has like 2 roles. She does the women empowerment and the housing. She just had a vision board Saturday, and she has a weekly podcast that she has for the women to be able to talk. So I thought that was really great that she took the initiative to do some empowerment for the women because she's been already in the place of that. So who best to tell you about how or to support you from coming home and to empower you from incarceration? But someone, that definitely experienced it, yes.
And you and I both, having dealt in some of these, already know that female prisoners in our state institutions as nurture givers, we face a lot of challenge that's just not a part of quote-unquote rehabilitation.
Yes.
Absolutely. Or community return to community, nurturing, children, grandparents raising children. Just a whole litany of things that impact us. So, challenge for you, Dionne, and for you, Cassandra. What you see as your challenge?
My challenge is funding and just really cracking that barrier or that narrative of mental health with returning citizens.
And you, Kishar?
I say the same. I say mental health. Focusing mainly on mental health because that's where it starts.
I want to thank you for joining me. We'll talk more about the mental health aspect tomorrow. Thank you for joining me again. I'm Dee Crawford, Community Affairs Director, WKBN.